He was there. He was there. Nick Mwadime was there. That's what we are saying. He was there, and we'll let you know where he was at. Welcome to this conversation on the newspaper review section. We have the Standard with us hapa. Kwa sababu gazeti ya Business Daily imepanda bei. I keep telling you guys, do this before it goes up. Business Daily is now going for 100 Kenyan shillings. Business Daily at 100 Kenyan shillings. But the Standard is still at 60 bob for now, before the finance bill ipandisha. Alafu, you will know, what's real and what's not. But let's get to see what our panelists here have to say. The Standard that I have, the headline says Gachagua allies to oppose Ruto tax proposals. The Mount Kenya MPs say their first rebellious act against the president will be to amend the finance bill that the government intends to use to collect taxes that will fund its operation. And there's there a quote from Godwin wa Mushomba, who says the tax on bread proposal is a decoy and they will discard it after hue and cry, but is aimed at diverting attention. The Business Daily's headline, the most expensive paper of the day, says real wages shrink for the fourth consecutive year. Yani ile pesa ambayo watu wanapata kwa mfukoni ina shrink, and this is the fourth year in a row. Inflation is wiping out around 2% of the pay rise in 2023, and now for this year the slump is around 4.1%. And putting in the fact that there's a recession that's doing press ups, it means the amount or what your money was affording you 4 years ago, even if you didn't shrink the amount, it still can't afford you the same. It has shrunk either way. So that's important for you to think about as we get into the conversation. Fendo, yes. Welcome to the show. And Nick, welcome to the show. Introduce yourselves, and then we can get to dissect what is here.
Yes, my name is Fendo Godwin, a political analyst and governance expert. Yeah, I'm readily here to analyze what has happened. Over the weekend, a lot happened. We saw the Limuru 3 that happened. It has brought a lot of outrage, a lot of speaks in the public domain. And we have keenly analyzed and looked at it in a deeper perspective, and we are here to analyze it in a depth manner.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Richard. Yeah. It's an amazing morning to be back again, because I think I've been quite away from some time because of Limuru 3.
Yeah.
But let me say good morning to my people in Murang'a. There's this amazing lady called Nancy Mihaki wa Mukuna, all the way from Kangema constituency. Very good people. Yeah. And I'm telling the people of Kangema, tujipange. The ladies ameanza kujipanga, na I can see a bright future.
Okay.
But in that regards, because the mountain is finally roaring, and I know people are very curious on what's up for Limuru 3.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, Richard, I told you here before that the people of the mountain are getting angrier, are getting tired by one man called President William Samoei Ruto.
I thought you were friends.
And I told you, Richard, some other day here, and recently you've seen in Kirinyaga, the teachers are on strike.
Yes.
We started with the health. Now the teachers.
Yes.
Now the people are going on the road.
Right, with the finance bill.
You understand? And finance bill, I told you, these people, they just do a lot of decoy. I want to agree with the MP Ngure, Godwin wa Mushomba. They're just doing a lot of distractions so that we don't talk about what really happened in Limuru 3. For the first time in history, our people walked from all corners of the mountain to gather and talk about the issues. People are tired.
Okay.
People are hungry. People are angry. We need to talk.
Okay. There are very many statements, and they have talked. I see here Embakasi North MP, I see Mushomba said something there. I also see, other leaders. And the question is, the biggest thing in page 2 of the Standard is against the finance bill proposals. So my question is it about the finance bill, or is it about realigning the mountain? Or is it all timely at the same time, but there are no coincidences?
Well, Richard, I will tell you, if you check clearly on the population GDP, how many people consume bread?
How many?
It's quote unquote, it's the elites.
Okay.
The elites like me and you, in quotes. Because we will want to live a luxurious life of eating bread from Monday to Monday. the issue about 6.2% on motor vehicles. How many people, how many mama mboga na vijana boda boda can afford cars? And you see, Richard, the conversation is really spiraling around that middle class level. But we want the conversation to go below to mama mboga, so that we feel the pain, so that on 2027 this man has to go. The conversation right now is at middle class.
Okay.
Mama mboga cannot feel enough of the pain. We want it to go so that they realize United Democratic Alliance is against the people.
They say we'll get to 22% of taxes by the end of the term.
It is very sad that
Will that at that point we'll have enough pain?
President William Ruto is using our sons. We saw Kimani Kuria. He could not clearly explain, a whole chairman of finance, what these additional taxes are for. We saw the majority leader, Kimani Ichung'wah, defending strongly. We saw Member of Parliament Kiharu Ndindi Nyoro. And I'm telling our people, let us not forget this gentleman.
Okay. Fendo.
The people of Kiharu, the people of Molo, and the people of Kikuyu. Let us not forget what they're doing to us.
Okay. Fendo, I'm going to ask you this question because I don't want to ask it to Nick. My question is, if I was President William Ruto going to the Mount Kenya region tomorrow, I'd tell them something that's opposite to what Nick has said. I'd say, I have given your sons the chance to lead this country. I've put them as a budget committee chairperson. I've put them on the top positions. I've given them CDF now, even CS here and there, Treasury, CS Kuria. I mean, the mountain is leading the country. What is the need to, again, come together? We are already in power.
Yes, I think you've answered what exactly Osoro said while in a public rally. And Osoro said that we have given you all these people, we've given you all this position, you hold key positions in parliament, you hold key position in these committees. And I like to begin with a quote and say that people that elect corrupt politicians and imposters and thieves and murderers are not victims of this. They are accomplices.
Okay.
When Mwadime points his finger vigorously at those people and warning them that they will not want to see them on the ballot in 2027, the four fingers are pointing back at him. I mean, the four fingers are pointing back at him as a voter.
The people who delivered Ruto to
the president. So these people are not victims. These people are accomplices to this bad leadership that we have.
And that's why I'm asking, is it a coincidence or is it just timely?
So we might have a good president in Kenya. We might have a good president in Kenya who really want to see good for this country. But there is no need of electing a good president with bad members of parliament. Remember, anything that a president say will go to parliament to be passed. It will be debated on the parliament. All these things that have been said, they'll find their way into the floor of the house. Who is expected to vote for those things and pass those bills? These are our members of parliaments who will vote it. If they say that these things are punitive, there are draconian laws being imposed on Kenyans, they will save us. But if as a citizen we elect a good president with bad players in parliament who cannot speak, then we are in to suffer, and we will suffer a lot. If you read history and see how Kiraitu Murongi were fighting for the tea farmers in those days when they were still youth, when Martha Karua was going to parliament to debate issues against James Orengo, you will know what leadership is. But if you have started watching parliament sessions the other day, you might think that the president is the problem. But the real problem is the people we elect there to represent. Ruto is one person who cannot listen to all the 52 people. We will have to elect members of parliament who will go there to represent our views. So if Kimani Ichung'wah is going there to say that this bill is good, it is not Kimani Ichung'wah who is saying that, but it's us, the voters, who delegated our powers to him. This brings us to a key point that we must look at the members of parliament that we are going to elect to represent us. This is like a football team, Barcelona, Manchester, or even Arsenal. We might love the team, we might love the coach, but the people who are going to represent the team at the football pitch matter a lot.
Right.
We cannot have a good
coach and
bad players and then all the blame goes to the coach. We must blame the players and we must blame the accomplices who vote these people in.
Right. Before Nick chimes in, just to maybe get one other remark from you, then how do we deal with a bad coach? Given from the finance bill of 2023, we saw the housing levy was included there. There was a lot of public discourse. It went to the courts, but somehow still the president finds a way to implement it. If we are speaking CASs, they're unconstitutional, court proceedings. It seems he doesn't really care what you guys are up to. So will it mean that if we had good parliamentarians, either way, the president will have his way? And how can we deal with that?
So what now brings to that is now the Limuru 3, which I'm full support of it.
Okay.
Such meetings should be held to keep pressure on the president, remind him on what he was elected to do. The president had a clear manifestos to the Kenyan, and as it seems, it's like the president has taken this manifesto, put it on a shelf, and brought another manifesto which was not presented to the Kenyans.
Okay.
Limuru 3 is something that I believe is going to bear fruits. This is not the first Limuru that we have had. We had Limuru 1 that bore fruits, and Limuru 1, if you read history and saw in the newspapers, or researched about that Limuru 1, it was about Mwai Kibaki when he was called to a meeting in the Limuru 1 and told that now you need to form a government and you need to organize yourself or you'll be organized. Usipojipanga, utapangwa. And hence the formation of NAK Kenya.
Okay.
And it bore fruits where Uhuru Kenyatta, Mwai Kibaki
became president.
The second one was Uhuru Kenyatta when Michuki, was it Michuki? I think Michuki called for this meeting, and they told Uhuru Kenyatta, now we need to organize ourselves as a community or as a region to see our interests are being protected. And they endorsed Uhuru Kenyatta as the kingpin, and they said anybody who will want to talk to Kikuyu, you must pass through Uhuru Kenyatta.
Okay.
And that's how the Limuru 2 bore fruit.
Okay.
The Limuru 3 had 3 main issues that were to be addressed, and Mwadime happened to be one of the planning committees, and we hope it will materialize. Because the first one is to address the high cost of living, which they did it. The second one was to talk about the punitive taxations that are happening and that are being posed to the Kenyans. Remember, the Mount Kenya cannot be swept under the floor because it has the highest members of parliament.
Yes.
And if they decide to put Kenya in the right direction and lead the Kenya in the right direction,
they will eventually.
Then, they will eventually do. So that one was about the higher taxation that are being imposed on the Kenyan. Okay. The next one is about having a spokesperson. The kingpin, or rather a person who will give directions
for the Mount Kenya region.
The underdog, information we have is that they want to impose back Uhuru Kenyatta as the leaders, because the mountain is slowly by slowly losing direction, and somebody else, who is, I suspect is William Ruto using proxies, is now the de facto spokesperson of the Kikuyu nation, which is misleading this rich community that boast of higher GDP contribution to the country, boast of higher votes, boast of a lot of things. So we need to get directions. Yes. And we are saying that other communities, other regions like Western should hold these meetings. Yeah, to see that the interests of the people are being held. Because the president, as you've just said, he doesn't listen to demonstration, he doesn't listen to the courts. So we must pressurize him as a nation, as regions, to just make sure that we just get that little that we need.
Okay. Right. Nick, is this the face of Mount Kenya now that I see on front of the Standard?
Before I get to whatever you're asking me, Richard, let me respond a little bit to what my friend is saying. UDA is in a very tough situation. Having a party leader who micromanages everything can be very challenging. And my good friend says I'm blaming the MPs. But what he does not know that Ruto is not a democratic kind of person. I don't want to say the opposite.
Non-democratic.
Yes. Because you could clearly see Kimani Kuria having a hard time to explain the issue of Finance Bill 2024. What does it mean? He has received orders from the executive to do what? To come to parliament. Because the main mandate of MPs is to do what? To pass laws. The executive implement the laws.
Right. Not to defend the decisions of the executive.
You understand?
Yes.
However, let us really be practical, Richard.
Yeah.
The Senate and the National Assembly are made of numbers, are made of majority and minority. Decisions are made by voting. That is politics. And since the party leader of UDA realized this from day one, he's been pushing laws. Right now, nobody is talking about the 1.5 tax that he shoved on our throat.
On the housing levy.
where did the bill come from? From the executive. The same bill is coming from the executive, not from parliament. Let us really be practical. If I'm in to support whatever my good friend is saying, then MPs who are in the majority should join us in the minority.
Okay.
Because today you can see here, MPs are saying, we shall oppose.
Right.
Coming back to what you're asking me, we shall oppose Ruto tax. Because they realize our son, Rigathi Gachagua, he's being sidelined. And who's doing the sidelinement? His boss. And, you know, my party leader, Uhuru Muigai wa Kenyatta, he saw this and he warned our people. He said that this man is a con man. That he will campaign on the basis of fake promises, on the basis of lies, and on the basis of what? Infidelity.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
now
even infidelity to the nation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you see,
okay, I like to
let me just finish. I allowed you to speak. Let me finish because you'll do a rebounder.
Please go ahead.
He's doing the same thing in the Western region. He tried it, as my good friend is saying. He tried it to be a de facto spokesperson. But we, the people of the mountain, we know who's our spokesperson. Uhuru Muigai wa Kenyatta. We are still saying he's our spokesperson because we believe in one thing that we believe on is a whole leadership process, because we call him Mudhamaki, and he's holding Mudhegi. He has not given it to anybody. So nobody, including Gachagua, is the face of the mountain. Let us go to the Western region, Richard. Today we are having Natembeya fighting Mudavadi and Wetangula. Day in, day night. Why? Because Ruto, by de facto, wants to do what? To be the spokesperson of the lawyers. So that come 2027, he has the votes of the lawyers. Let us go to Homa Bay and Migori. He's fighting ODM day in, day out, so that he can become the spokesperson of who? The Nyanza. But he has forgotten the real mandate that we are supposed to talk about. 1.5% tax.
Right.
The 2023 finance. We are not even interested.
We have not even healed from the finance bill of
Richard,
last year.
Our kids are going to school, right?
Yeah.
It's still raining, Richard.
Right.
Schools have been destroyed. Teachers are on the street. There's still no good healthcare systems, Richard. We are here talking about politics. How sad state is it?
Okay.
You see, I said it before here, without any fear of contradiction, Richard. The issues of laws and county government, we should empower our county government in a way that even as our president decides to play politics, the day-to-day basis of our people, the basic needs, health, education, homes, are not messed around with.
Yeah. Okay. Fendo, you had something to say in there before I ask you a question I have. What did you have to say about
I want to give a rebounder. Just remind him that the narrative that somebody is being sidelined is lost and should not find a way in such a platform that has serious scholars.
I was going to ask, isn't this the same script that was there with Uhuru and Ruto?
Yes, he played that for the
one who has been asked.
For 5 years. For 5 years. For 5 years he played a de facto opposition leader.
I want to answer it. I want to give a rebounder.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I want to say that the person that you are saying that has been sidelined, his offices has been awarded 1.2 billion shillings. You know, 1.2 billion shillings. That amount of money has not even been allocated to the victims of floods.
Right.
And this has single-handedly gone to the person who is claiming that is being sidelined. You are also saying that the deputy president is being sidelined and the Kikuyus are being sidelined. Remember, the majority leader in parliament is from them, and parliament makes key decisions. If parliament decides that we will not have VAT on textbooks,
the majority leader will whip them to it.
Yeah, you can lead them. But if you elect a weak leader who goes to parliament to babble and whine for the president's tune and dance reggae to the president's melodical songs, then you've lost from the beginning.
Right.
And
so we're shifting blame.
Yeah, we're just shifting blame to the wrong person and to the wrong office. have you written letters to your members of parliament that you elected there, asking them what have you done about this? Because these laws, even the chairperson of the budgetary committee, it is Ndindi Nyoro. It is not Raila Amolo Odinga. If Ndindi Nyoro is weak and decided to dance with the tune of the president, you are the one who elected that person there. So it is still the people that we are here. And if Ruto decides today to sack him, they'll begin saying that our child and our test wameanza kuwa sideline. For instance, the deputy president. I have not seen the deputy president the president not assigned in fact, he has been set his current residence to be receiving the Prime Minister of Somalia the other day. You know, those are key mandates discussing trade about those issues.
Okay.
But what we just have is that people want to politics about numbers, and this is what they're doing is they are playing politics. If today Rigathi Gachagua will be noted not to have a following in the mountain, he'll be dropped like a hot potato.
Yes.
If Martha Karua proves that she has numbers, she'll be taken there.
Like a cold potato.
Yeah, like a cold potato served there.
Okay.
Yeah. So he will be taken there. And this issue of electing competent people to go there, even in dowry negotiation, when you are going to pay dowry for your wife, or rather not pay dowry but to negotiate about that dowry, you must take people who know how to talk, people who can calibrate words. But if you take people who don't know how to talk, people will go there and just tell that we want 10 million, and they say we need people who can go there, bargain, talk, and make sure that the boy child side. So, but if you take people who don't know how to bargain and take them to parliament, you will complain, you will forever cry. Right. What I'm trying to tell him that is that your region should also have some members of parliament from these other, so that we test and see. Because these people know already now that you just have to win this party ticket. It's a direct ticket to there. Right. Just say that our son is being sidelined and win an election there. Just prove and put this narrative, and you will also win. Another thing, I'm also saying that right now a lot of government duties have been placed to the county governments. So issues like health, they're purely for the counties. These roads that are small roads are for the county government. Right. Agriculture for the county government. So if you elect a thief as your governor, right, then expect not to have good health, expect not to have good agriculture. I come from Kakamega County, and Oparanya did a lot of good developments. And if you have a good governor, you don't even need to know about the president.
Whether they're in the opposition or they're in the government.
Because the government, and I'd like to really congratulate the government of today, even with the high taxes, at least they have managed to increase the county revenue allocation. Okay. From it was 358 billion to around 410 billion to see to it that they develop. But if you award thieves with those county governments, it's like taking a hyena to come and look after your children, and then going to complain to God.
The hyena has eaten your children. Nick, as you answer, I just want to say something about that script that we just talked about. Would I be correct to say that the Mount Kenya region is following under the same trick? Before it was Ruto saying, Uhuru is sidelining me, guys, please, now he's with Raila, empathy politics. Now we will likely have the same, where, Gachagua comes in, manipulates us with sidelining politics, as Fendo is saying. It's like, huyu jamaa amenirusha nje. Unaweza jirusha nje pia useme nimerushwa nje as a way to get numbers. Is that the way to go? Also in terms of give us facts and evidence, right, and incidences, not also rhetorics. Yes, in terms of development, as he's saying, since part of the conversation that was happening at Limuru, which you are there, is that 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. How is it like on the ground, as he's saying, with governance, by the leaders already in there, before we get to what Ruto isn't doing or what he is doing for the Mount Kenya region?
My good friend Fendo seems to have selective amnesia. I'm just here torn whether he's in government or in opposition. but that's beside the point. As I've said, I am not standing here to defend Rigathi Gachagua, because those are inside politics of UDA. I don't want to be part of the UDA, part of the wrangles. But it is very much clear. For the past 1 week, he had missed up to 11 state activities. Yes. Museveni was in Kenya. Who received Museveni?
Raila Odinga and CS Murkomen.
You have the answer.
Yes.
He met.
What is the relationship between receiving a president and being sidelined? Was he told not to be there? Was there formal communication?
Let him finish. Let him finish his submission first.
And that happened because Raila was going to ask for Museveni's vote for AU. Nothing big. Just
Fendo, let him finish, and then we'll get to you.
No, he's behaving as if we're in a market, so I just want him to tell him to calm down. This podium is ours, so relax.
Wow.
One thing that we have to talk about, and that's why I said I don't want to be dragged or to be trapped into going into UDA politics.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to speak about is the people of the mountain, Richard.
Yeah.
Because nobody's talking about the farms in Naivasha that are being grabbed. You see, on Limuru 3, probably I should let you know what actually happened. The MCA of a specific ward stood up and say, an 88-year-old is in prison. He cannot afford bail fees. Allegedly, he has been accused of grabbing land. And this is a land that he has lived there his whole life. So we did a fundraising
to get him out.
That's a very sad state. I'm not coming here to discuss about numbers. I'm coming here to talk about the issues of the people of the mountain.
Okay.
Right? That the price of coffee that we are selling to the factories has gone lower. The price of tea that the people of the mountain are farmers has gone lower. The price of milk. You know, our people are farmers. And the easiest way to cripple them is through farming and businesses. And the reason why, by the way, we come up heavily to vote is to protect our businesses and our farms. And that is why you see our people rarely called for mandamano. But this time out, Richard, I told you, they walked to Limuru 3 to have a discussion. And probably he was giving a history about Limuru. Limuru 1 happened in 1966.
Yes.
When we had the founding father called Jomo Kenyatta. Limuru 2 happened in 2012 when Uhuru was being made Mudhamaki.
Yeah.
Limuru 3, Uhuru was not even there. But the people are saying, we want Uhuru to come back. Because Uhuru, right now, the other day we saw the state maligning that he has 441 million as a budget. But we clearly see they are too lazy even to do their factual check. That Uhuru, until today, he has not received any amount.
He's actually not spent any of that allocation.
But that is beside the point, Richard.
Office, yes. Okay.
As I said it earlier, and I want to agree with my good friend, our issues are not whether it's mountain or Kakamega. Our issues is about one man who chooses to divide people for his own benefit. He's using Ndindi Nyoro to disrupt who? One Rigathi Gachagua. He's using Kimani Ichung'wah to discuss who? And that is why our people are saying, we want one man, one vote, one shilling. And why are we saying this, Richard? Because we cannot have a population, for example, in Ruiru constituency or somewhere I come from, our voters, right, receive a yearly budget of 200 million with a population of up to 60,000. Let us do the math.
Okay.
Bursary itaenda kwa secondary schools, sindio? Bursary, you still go to primary school. Bursaries, we still go to universities. How many people are going to get these bursaries?
Right. It's not an appropriate allocation for the numbers.
A constituency like where Aden Duale comes in, the population is not even more than 200,000. You understand?
Okay.
So
it's about issues and it's not about numbers.
It's not about numbers. It's about issues that we're supposed to talk about.
Right. So I have a final question that I want you guys to tackle, because I really hoped we could get to the US visit by President William Ruto, but it seems we'll have to tackle that next time. Just want to pose one question so that we handle it even as you give your other submissions, which I haven't touched on. It's why can't we do a Kenya 1 meeting, a Kenya 2, a Kenya 3? Why should we do it regionally? I remember Fendo just a few minutes ago saying it's important that also other regions, maybe we have a Kisii 3 meeting there or a Kakamega 1. Why can't we just have a collective conversation about the issues rather than segmenting it and then pointing out who has more, who doesn't have more? Because this is a very easy way of us leading us to a divided, election, especially, coming up after President William Ruto. What can we do to avoid those segmented conversations? Because that's what makes people think it's about numbers. It's about these people and their self-interest. I'll begin with Fendo.
Thank you very much. Your question is much in order. We need to have one Kenya. And as one is that we begin to notice, and we must know that the symbol of national unity is the presidency. So we must give him and accord him all the support that he deserves and needs to make this country run. We can only have one president. Let's not have roadside proclamations. Let's not start have accusations, but we need a symbol that unites all Kenyans is the presidency. Is the presidency. So I'll now want just to reply to what is said. There is politics and there is economics and there is reality. If an issue comes to you in a political angle, you deal with it politically. We also need to be fair to these politicians. If it comes to you that is a religious matter, you deal with it religious. If it is about economics, you deal with it economics. The issue of prices being low, I feel that is something that we really need to work on and ensure that our farmers are getting something, because agriculture is the main backbone of economics. And one of the economic policies that against Uhuru Kenyatta is that you will find that agriculture is the main backbone of the economy of Kenya, but the allocation of funds going to that area was very little, like 12 billion as compared to security, and Kenya does not go to war every day like Israel is doing. Another thing is that I was in a university and I did logic and critical thinking. Let's not be emotional in thinking and analyzation of issues. When we talk about an old mzee, 88 years old, being in prison, we should talk with laws that incriminated him, not him being 88-year-old, having lived in a land for, 88 years or 100 years or so. So those are issues that were dealt with legally. The courts provided the ruling. So we need to deal with it on a legal issues, and legal issues are very key issues. You can live in a land for 40 years and that land does not belong to you. There are some people right now, and issues to do with the land are very critical. Somebody is going to the United States of America. A mother or a woman or a friend just comes that I don't have a place to stay. Help me, I have children suffering. Just now that you're going to give me this place to stay here. You give them a place, they build their kibanda. They call another person, they build their kibanda. When you come from abroad, you want to build your house,
your own
there.
stuff.
Yeah. Tell now you have to move kidogo.
They say unanyanyasa wananchi.
Sisi tumekaa hapa, tumelelewa hapa, tumenini. So I say that issues to deal with this, they're not emotional. If you don't have the issues to be there, you don't have to be there. We are not going to be emotional outburst because of old age or something like that. Legal issues.
So, thank you. Guys, we have just 1 minute. I mean, like completely, literally 1 minute. So I'll give you 30 seconds and then I'll give you the last remark 30 seconds as well. I'll give you a minute and I'll give you 30 seconds.
You see, I have to get extra minute because
so I'll give you 30 seconds extra.
1 minute and 30 seconds extra, right?
Let's go.
But before we continue, Richard, Wendo seems to forget that people, 90% of human beings base their decisions on emotions. Why people go on the ballot is because of anger. Anger is an emotion. So we cannot overrule the fact that this guy is so angry enough that he needs to be bailed out. We cannot. And let me assure you, we raised money. If that issue was not serious, we could not have raised money in Limuru 3 for that grand old man. And let us be realistic again. The reason why Kenyans are angry with people, again, it's because of what? Emotions. But that is beside the point. Because I don't want to say we are too logical as a nation, because logic did not apply when you were voting for Ruto.
Where was the logic then?
I don't understand where was the logic. But if that is the case, we'll have had Miguna for president. If we're going through logic. But
makes sense.
At the end of the day,
let's not overrule emotions.
Responding to why Kenyans are doing regional politics. It's because at the end of the day, it has to start in Kakamega, where it's coming from. It comes to Nairobi. And then at the end of the day, we meet and decide who is our president, who can unite all of
these issues
on our issues. And one thing I agree with Wendo, the issues of farmers, the issues of the people. At the end of it all, we can do politics, but let us work. Asante sana.
Asante pia Nick.
Yes, so let me say thank you so much to the people of Roysambu, because they sent me every Tuesday to acknowledge Nairobians, to acknowledge our issues.
Yes.
And even so, Mount Kenya Colleges, Universities, Student Association from our chairman. And we are very angry as students because nobody's talking about the issues of
students.
Honorable JJ Kagondo.
Okay.
He shot people in Thika. Right? Nobody's talking about such issues.
I wish we had time. I wish we had time.
Let me say
thank you very much.
Let me say patronage to my chairman.
I think he's now eating into my
Chairman of MKUSA.
Chairman of MKUSA.
I'm angry with your chairman because he's never showed up on
I'm here. I'm here.
I want him as well.
I'm here. So my chairman in MKUSA and also my national treasurer, President Eston. Thank you so much.
Fendo, 30 seconds, please.
Okay, just use the 30 seconds.
Yes.
One is the issue that I got out of this table, forgetting to analyze the issue, 1 man, 1 shilling, one coin. This is a very important issue that we also need to know and discuss this issue from a serious critical issue and see what other nations have been doing. Yeah. When we say that 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote is really going to cost us, what we mean is that there are some regions that have already developed. So when you take this money and reimburse it to already developed regions, you are being inconvenienced. You are going to create issues of marginalization. There is that Turkana guy in Turkana who cannot afford anything. So we need to also ensure that resources go to that place. But when you say 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote, other regions are going to be Singapore, and other regions are going to be Kenya. To be now Kenya, to be third world. So we need to make sure that all these resources we are developing Kenya as a united nation because we vote as a people. And another thing is that we will be out of this place to go to Turkana for work. You will go to other places. You also need to get those resources there. So we need to ensure that 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote does not see light of the day. And I mean, development to go everywhere.
It should be equity, not equality.
Equality, yeah. Okay. If we go in that route, we'll have other regions just having universities as the source of economic activity. So we need also to be considerate about the Turkana, the Njebs, the Masai Tunja, and all those people development of their regions.
Okay, thank you very much, Fendo, and thank you very much, Nick, for creating time here. We have really rushed, but I know we are going to pick this up again when we come back again for Biashara Tuesday. Thank you for also tuning in from home at KUTV Kenya. Comes to you, KUTV Rise today, Monday and Tuesday. Next week on Monday, we'll be here, me and Karen Blessing, on this show together. We'll do it together, so you want to be tuning in for that. And then on Tuesday, maybe we can still as well do it together. But for this one, I'm very grateful that you've created time for us here. From my producer and director, Sir Mr. Ryan Ngure, the whole team of like 20 people behind the scenes in the cameras, the audio visual, the sound mixing, the transmission, the graphics design. It takes a whole village to bring this show to you. So we're very grateful that you also create time every morning. On social platforms, I'm known as @Richard_Okenya. Continue this conversation even offline.